Food security is a pressing concern, especially in developing countries like India. How is the agribusiness responding to the challenge of food security? Well, we'll have interesting insights from Herbert Oberhaensil, who's Vice President, Economics and International Relations at Nestle. Thank you very much for your time. Food security is a big, vast, diverse, complex subject. But really, food security, what do you see as the key pillars to work towards the target of food security? I know it's a large, tough target.
I think it has 5 different pillars. The first one clearly is to produce sufficient food, sufficient calories and proteins. This is what happens on the farm. Second one is access to food. Most difficulties are in rural areas. It is to provide sufficient income for farmers. The third one is the quality of the food. It's food safety, but it's also micronutrients. It's not just about the calories and proteins. Then it's the affordability of the food, and fifth pillar, to have the food at the right time, at the right place, in the right form. The major famines were not during times when there was not enough food, but the food didn't get to the people who needed it.
You know, there is a growing debate around whether, as the private sector expands its role in the food business, and it's a rapidly increasing role that the private sector is playing in the food space, whether or not it's going to pay enough attention to issues like affordability. What would your defense be, as you represent a large influential food company?
I'm not so sure whether the private sector is expanding. We had last year a discussion here with farmers, and the farmers said, don't call us civil society, we are part of the private sector. Farmers are entrepreneurs. It's a different structure. Now, if you look at the regions where the more organized private sector and the more vertically integrated private sector got into the food system, you see the prices coming down. You have, for industrialized countries from 1950 to 2000, you have a decrease compared to the wages of 75% of the cost for food. Cost for food has come down, while the choice for the consumer for food has increased massively, while the quality, the safety of the food and the other components that I mentioned have gone up. You can buy food now anytime, when you need it, when you want it. You don't have to wait for a farmer to come to the weekly market. So prices have come down. This is an effect of the market system. This is not explicitly a merit of the companies.
I take your point. Nestle has operated in India for many years,
yes,
and successfully, if I may say so. But as you engage with policymakers in Indian agriculture, would you be so bold as to say this is your advice to them in the way that they're moving forward with India's food security challenge?
I don't know enough about India. I'm an economist at headquarters. We have operations in more than 100 countries, factories in more than 80 countries. So
and you're
I could not
synthesizing the global trends.
So it is synthesizing the global trends. And when we see the distortions that come in from public policy, when the market forces are limited, it is in average, usually it's more negative than positive. Doesn't mean that, again, that you need to help those who are in difficulties, those who are really poor. You have to help them to get enough food. Food is a matter of survival. So in very general terms, there is not the market does everything, but the market is a very good starting point where then some corrective measure has to come in from governments.
We'll leave it at that. Herbert, thank you very much for your time and insights.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.